AITA for calling my fiancée selfish for wanting to announce her pregnancy at her cousin's wedding? Throwaway. My fiancée, 29F, and I, 31M, just found out that we're pregnant. My fiancée mentioned that she wanted to wait to announce it at her cousin's wedding, which will be taking place on Sunday. Her cousin and her husband has been struggling getting pregnant even with IVF or the tons of others. Recently they just got some news that their insurance has stopped funding IVF, and not to mention the heartbreak of a recent miscarriage on Mother's Day. They almost understandably held off on the wedding. So when my fiancée brought it up to me, I told her it's not at all a good idea. This just seemed so wrong, especially it being at their wedding. I asked if she was gonna at least ask her cousin for permission, and she said no because she wanted it to be a surprise for everyone. I told her it's not the time nor the place for that, and it would take the spotlight off the couple. In her family there hasn't been a baby in 3 years, so we'd be the first in that time. Fiancé feels that's the perfect time because it's such a joy, and it's not like she can keep it away forever, and their problems shouldn't keep her from telling something so positive, so it's on them if they turn it negative. I told her that's not the point, she knows what they've been through and she's being selfish if she actually goes through with that. She cried and claimed I wasn't being supportive and I shouldn't be calling my pregnant fiancé selfish. She doesn't want me to come with her to the wedding anymore either, feeling as if I would kill the mood. She hasn't been talking to me either. Edit. So about my fiancé and her cousin's relationship. My fiancé always saw competition in her cousin because her cousin would be better at some things than her. Grades, dancing, cosmetics, etc., since they were kids, and she hates that. Last year they had an argument about it because fiancé felt her cousin bragged too much, whereas my fiancé also mentioned there was one thing her cousin wasn't good at but never said what it was. So in shorter terms the relationship is in between good and bad, but her cousin wanted to invite her to the wedding, I'm guessing to rekindle that. Update 1. Sorry for the long wait as I have been going through some things, work, death of my grandfather, etc. So I didn't expect to get a bunch of replies to my post. But a lot of them were helpful. My ex was determined to go to the wedding, despite my protests, and even planned out how she was going to be refusing alcohol when offered. I did tell my ex's parents about what she was planning on doing. I didn't want to tell the groom or bride because I wouldn't know how to put it in words that would make the whole situation any less awful. Ex's parents did end up telling the bride's parents, and then they told the bride. The bride was so upset that she, unfortunately, called off the wedding. Everyone wanted her to continue it and invite my ex for a couple of plans guests thought of. When my ex announced it, everyone would just stay nonchalant and not give her the excited reaction she was hoping for, and the classic just don't invite her plan. The bride was just understandably wanted to be left alone, and she just texted my fiancé a very long paragraph telling her what a horrible person she was. She just decided not to do the wedding anymore, and her fiancé was very heartbroken, but all in all, they were both grateful to me. My ex instantly knew that I was the cause of all of this, and she was furious at me, even more, because I posted about it here, but also said a pretty sick thing about how she still pretty much won anyways. I just decided to break up with her myself after that. Some of her family members are kinda upset with me, as they believed I just caused a bunch of drama. Now I'm currently in the works of talking to an attorney, as my ex told me I will not be seeing the baby after they're born. So all that on top of grief, working, breakup, being called a mess starter by some of her family, and still feeling like shit because either way the bride and groom were heartbroken. It's just putting a bunch of anxiety and stress on me, lol. Anyways, here is the long-awaited update. Any questions, I'll answer. Edit. So they were pretty much already contemplating on canceling the wedding. Family members did stress her out over her miscarriage and canceling. Her fiancé's family were excessive about she couldn't carry a baby to full term like a real woman. Not to mention her own family went around spreading her miscarriage like wildfire, which is how my ex and I found out. They told it to coworkers even. It's not the first time my ex has also interrupted her cousin's big events, smiley face. When turning 17, my ex cake smashed her, which wasn't fun for her cousin. Their first pregnancy announcement, which was the miscarriage, was ruined because my ex blurted the news out, but her cousin's told to get over that because it was a miscarriage anyways, so she's told by family members. This is what I was told when asking her fiancé. So she's been at a breaking point for a while. She was considering just still continuing the wedding but wanted to be left alone. They didn't call off the wedding permanently, just until the bride has cooled herself down.